Well, hi everybody. You've somehow stumbled down into the bowels of the internet to find the Vegematic Deluxe show. Welcome for another week. To all my dear friends out there, I'd like to say it's been really fun. I've really gotten to know so many people on here over the years. And it's true that like draws to light. Light draws to light. And perhaps we could overcome things. One day everything's going to be fine. I swear it's going to be fine. I wonder if those people in Libya thought it was going to be fine too. I wonder if the people in Ukraine think it's fine that Putin is raining down missiles on innocent people, hospitals, and all that stuff. And I find it's disgusting to contemplate war. And it's disgusting. I compare the numbers of people dead in the war in Ukraine, and it's an abstract number. You think of both the Ukrainians and the Russians. 500,000 people. That's the size of, if we're using, those of you who have seen the old film Woodstock, that's the size of the corpses. And each one of them were individuals with hopes and dreams. And some were probably real bastards, but among the dead, I'm sure we lost some good people, even on, both sides. And I'm not saying both sides. I'm not playing both sides here. The Russians are clearly to blame, not the Russian people, but Putin specifically. And now we see Kimmo there, young Kimmo. Yeah, the little guy that looks like the Pillsbury Doughboy with the missiles that likes to kill anybody that doesn't like him. Well, of course, birds of a feather, right? So he's in Moscow on this armored train visit to Moscow. The people that accuse me of having Trump derangement syndrome, I think you really need to look in the mirror, because I think the derangement is all on the other side. And I hear this whole thing about the election constantly, Trump is leading. Well, it's insane. And how can I not worry about where we're headed when we're putting politicians in positions of power that are either too ignorant or too stubbornly ideological to actually see the writing on the wall, to see where we're going. And people reach out for these false solutions from the worst people, the worst people they could possibly follow. And it goes on. I suppose that's why cults are successful. And I feel like Herr Drumpf is sort of like the Jim Jones, but on a much larger scale. All that can follow from that is destruction. All that flows from that man has been destruction and division, and the amount of hatred that's been stirred up and spread to Canada. The same thing. We are turning from a tolerant people here in Canada into a more authoritarian thing too. We're falling for it. And I think it's just the hard times that are happening, and people are really angry. I was on the CBC website and just reading the comments to the stories, and I'm going, wow, this sounds like it could be America. It's the same thing. And when people are afraid, they go for extreme measures. They're thinking things can't get any worse. Oh, they can. Things can always get worse, can't they? That's part of the human condition. Things can always get worse. Sometimes, if we're very lucky, they can get a little better. I've done a bit of research on this, but you know, it's like those graphs, but it's constantly a downward trajectory, and you've got to be real about it. So the UAW is on strike, United Auto Workers, and against all three of the big automakers. And given what these people have given up, the workers there, over the years, and the record profits, I can't believe the way that the mainstream media is going on about this. They're asking for 36% over 4 years. So it's sort of just a little bit above the rate of inflation when you break it down. But instead they come on the mainstream media and say, well, they're demanding a 40% raise. And isn't that unbelievable? Isn't that awful? And meanwhile, the heads of the corporate offices are just floating in digital money and all. So I say solidarity is the only way to get things done. Yeah, there are more unions, you know, that's what you need. But I've heard Amazon, you know, the little mom and pop operation Amazon. Yeah, well, it turns out that they are demanding a non-disclosure agreement to prevent that making you sign a legal agreement that if you join a union or something, I don't know. It's tracked everywhere we go, and we willingly subject ourselves to it. Sometimes I would like to smash all my technology and just disappear out into the woods somewhere, like the pioneers did, and freeze my ass off in the wintertime. Yeah, I mean, I'm stuck here, right? We're all stuck in this weird thing that's going on. Everybody's depressed in the world these days. Everybody I see is just like traumatized, broken, worried. And how can we not be with the constant shocks that we're facing over and over and over again, and things getting worse and worse and worse, and we're supposed to just go, no, everything's fine. And we do. Humans just, okay, a certain amount of people will go, I'm doing fine. I've got lots of money and I'm happy, and so why isn't everybody? And the big thing is nobody chooses where they were born and into what circumstances they were born, or even if they were born. So how can anybody look down on another human being because you don't understand what that person, that other human being has been through, even if they're really messed up people? Couple of quick shout outs to you people out there that keep coming back every week. You're either masochistic or you're just part of the Vegematic Deluxe family of friends. It's great to have an electronic family around me. We can gather you all up and we can give presents to each other. It'd be really cool. I sit here all by myself, even though the surroundings are completely luxurious in here. I just don't let you see them because reality is not fun sometimes. Armpit Studio may have been a little bit exaggerated in the past. I'm not saying anything more about that. Thank God for the green screen. I wonder how many of us go through life being too cautious or being too insular. I think that's why I do YouTube, because I was getting insular. So I started a YouTube channel, and for many years have mouthed off my opinions, and I'm sure some of them are very unpopular with somebody out there, and somebody's always gonna come up and say they don't like you for whatever reason, but I don't care. I don't do this to be liked. I do it to be loved. Damn it. Sorry. Little strange tick that I get sometimes. It's not my fault I didn't get enough attention as a child. If I had, I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender. But no, instead, I'm the proud owner of Armpit Studios in London, Ontario. Am I bitter? No, I'm grateful for my life. I'm thankful for everything in my life. I really, truly am. I joke about it because it's all funny. What's that line in that Monty Python song? Don't you see it's all a show? Leave them laughing when you go. Well, you know, that's what we're here to do, I guess. Always look on the bright side of life. I always have. Those of you who are my regular viewers certainly know how bright and cheery I am. Of course, it cycles back and forth, you know, but I figure that maybe I can make this channel something interesting, like the decline, the slow decline of an old man pathetically reaching out to strangers over the internet. Yeah, I don't think I like that very much. As we go forward into our brave new world and try to maintain some sort of dignity or privacy, but you put stuff online so it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess we're all prostitutes. What else can you call us? Human beings, where every one of us is a whore. We're a whore to the system. You sell your labor, your skills, your intellect, and you get rewarded for it. Or not. It depends if you're Elmo or somebody normal. Oh man, that traffic is gonna drive me crazy. I gotta plug up my little window there. Can't get any fresh air in the Armpit Studio. Yeah, it's just, and it interrupts the flow of things. It interrupts the stream of consciousness. And that's the important thing. We can all do our stream of consciousness things, and that's what I find in the comments too. And I love joking around with people in the comments because it's a mental exercise, and it keeps me young. Keeps me young when you whippersnappers out there. Yeah. And I'm tired of the tubular channels that are out there where you got, you know, some dude's on there and he's all intense about his video and he's making a great video and you should subscribe to me because I'm making a great video. And did I mention I am awesome? Isn't it fantastic? Wow, subscribe, like, send the money. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still kind of cynical about things. I'm trying to, I'm trying to get better. I'm trying to look at things from a different point of view and a more positive lens. But for me, it's like looking through a pair of binoculars backwards. Because I see what's going on. I mean, I turn the. I need some glasses like that so you can just turn them around and, hey, nature, look at that. Beautiful. Things are lovely out there. And meanwhile, there's fires burning and floods and wars going on. You're just saying, oh, man, it's cool. That's why virtual reality is so dangerous. If you put on a helmet and you don't care if the world, it goes to hell, right? I mean, you're in virtual reality and you're playing a game and all this shit's happening around you. And it's the ultimate way for them to addict you, right? So, you know, I can just see all these junkies in the alleyway, but they wouldn't be using drugs anymore. Well, they would, but it would be the helmet, the virtual reality helmet that they all put over their heads. So they didn't have to face that they were living in a garbage dump. And there was toxic waste flowing in the streets. And I always get too carried away. I try and keep it calm, keep it rational, and I just can't. I think it's part of the sort of flipping around that I do in my brain. It just, people have a hard time following me sometimes, and that's why I don't do live shows, because I don't think that I could make any sense of my ramblings if I couldn't paste them all together. It's not my fault. Don't blame me. Anyway, we'll see you next week. After this ridiculous show, we'll come back, and I may get to be doing a few more mini documentaries. I'll see. It depends on my energy level. See you next time. Oh, don't forget, of course, don't forget to leave your comments. It's amazing that I answer every comment. I'd say there's very few shows on YouTube that do that. And why do I do it? Masochism. That's why. No, I enjoy it very much, so leave comments. Let's see, what else could you do? What do they tell you to tell you? What do they tell y'all to say when you're... they tell you all to like it and subscribe to it and share it and inhale it. That's it. Remember to do that, or I'll come for you. Take care, everybody. See you next time. If I'm lucky. If I make it. Ah!